When the facts bend reality, this is beyond plausible.
When the platypus was first discovered by European scientists in 1798, not everyone believed the creature before their eyes was real. Some suspected that someone had combined parts of different species to create a fake animal. This was a quite common hoax during the boom of natural science exploration. But the platypus is a real animal and has long puzzled anatomists. A creature with fur, a beak, and webbed feet. It lays eggs and can secrete venom. Is it a mammal, or is it a duck? Or perhaps it's a furry reptile. European scientists asked similar questions to those of Australian Aboriginals long before. There are many interesting Aboriginal stories about the origin of this strange animal. One of them tells of a combination between a duck and a water rat. Scientifically, humans eventually classified the platypus as a mammal. More specifically, as a monotreme, meaning an egg-laying mammal. There are only two species in the world belonging to this group, the platypus and the echidna. This, along with reptile-like characteristics, long puzzled scientists. They couldn't determine the exact position of the platypus on the tree of life. As continents drifted apart and branches of the tree of life diverged, the platypus seemed to have taken a separate path. But like all animal traits, the peculiarity of the platypus must have some purpose. But what evolutionary question does it answer? If you open any textbook, you'll find mammals defined as vertebrates. Warm-blooded, with fur, secreting milk, and usually during live birth. Those are typically the keywords you can find. But the platypus is one of two egg-laying mammals, the other being the echidna. When it's time to lay eggs, the platypus digs a burrow, enters, and seals the entrance. Here, it lays eggs, curls around its body and tail, and incubates them until they hatch after about 10 days. After this stage, the platypus behaves like most other mammals, nursing its young with milk for 3 to 4 months, until the offspring can swim independently. To understand how and why egg-laying ability exists in mammals, we need to go back a very long time in history. About 340 million years ago, the first amniotes appeared on Earth, in the form of small lizard-like creatures. The amniotic membrane of tetrapod vertebrates is defined by a membrane or amniotic sac protecting the developing embryo. Amniotic eggs were the first evolutionary step allowing reptiles to conquer dry land. Fish and amphibians must lay eggs in water, so they cannot live far from these areas. But thanks to amniotic eggs, reptiles could lay eggs almost anywhere on dry land. Soon, this biological mechanism spread, making land the domain of vertebrates. And about 315 million years ago, they split into two main groups, including tetrapod vertebrates that survive to this day. One branch led to modern reptiles and birds. The other included mammal-like reptiles. From there, today's mammals evolved and developed. This mammalian branch eventually evolved so that the amniotic egg developed inside the mother's uterus, leading to the process called internal pregnancy. But another branch of mammals did not follow that rule. Monotremes, or egg-laying mammals, split from the mammalian lineage about 200 million years ago. From then on, they did not develop internal pregnancy and did not lose the ability to lay eggs. In the genome of platypus germ cells, there is a large number of genes shared with birds. Specifically, the platypus retains copies of the vitellogenin gene, encoding egg protein and a precursor to yolk. This sustains the developing embryo. The platypus has fewer copies of this gene than birds and reptiles, but most mammals do not have this gene. That means the platypus can lay eggs, but their young are less dependent on egg protein than birds and reptiles. This is possible because platypuses also feed their young with mother's milk after the eggs hatch. The egg-laying of platypuses is a remnant echo from their reptilian ancestors. And for a time, that greatly benefited the platypus. Monotremes were once the dominant mammal group in what is now the Australian continent for a long period. But later, they were overshadowed by the emergence of marsupial mammals. Marsupials originated from South America and migrated to what is now the Australian continent via the supercontinent Gondwana about 70 million years ago. Their bodies are structured for more efficient movement, and internal pregnancy helps them better protect their young. And thus, they surpassed monotremes in almost every aspect. And gradually, except for two species, the echidna and the platypus, all other monotreme species living on this continent have gone extinct. So the question arises, why could the platypus and echidna survive while the others could not? One hypothesis about how the platypus survived facing fierce competition from marsupials is its ability to go into water. This is an ability that marsupials cannot match. The ancestors of the echidna are also believed to have been semi-aquatic, although this is no longer seen in modern echidnas. Marsupials cannot invade aquatic environments because after birth, they must live in their mother's pouch for a period to nurse. The young would drown if their mother ventured into water. But with their young safely secured in burrows, platypuses can happily frolic in water, avoiding land predators and exploiting their own ecological niche. The platypus is an expert swimmer. Its underwater hunting ability relies on several unique physiological features. The webbed feet of the platypus give them power when moving in water. Using their front feet for steering and hind feet for propulsion, they move with grace and agility. Another interesting ability of the platypus is that it can dive underwater for up to 2 minutes. Its body has skin folds that can cover its eyes and close its nostrils. Although capable of seeing underwater, the platypus keeps its eyes completely closed when diving. Thanks to a sixth sense that almost no other mammal possesses, the platypus can hunt freely without needing to open its eyes to search. One of the most distinctive parts of the platypus is its flat, broad bill, which is unique in the mammal world. S-bill, the platypus. The bill is also the platypus's primary hunting tool. It can hunt with its eyes completely closed due to its highly sensitive bill, which relies on two main factors, mechanical and electrical sensing. Mechanical sensing means sensitivity to external mechanical stimuli, such as touch or pressure. In the case of the platypus, its bill is filled with mechanical receptors called push rods. These are columns of cells that move independently from the surrounding skin. When pressure or vibrations act on the push rod, it triggers nerves at the base of the column. Teeth need to be large, as the platypus can detect the slightest vibrations through the water. This sensitive bill can even detect freshwater shrimp from 15 to 20 centimeters away, just by sensing movement in the water. The other sensing ability of the platypus is electroreception. All animals emit electrical signals while they are active. And the platypus's bill can detect these electric fields emitted by prey. Its bill contains about 70,000 glands supporting electroreception function. The reception mechanism in the bill is very similar to the electrosensory system of hammerhead sharks. Electrical stimuli travel through water, after secretions from glands in the bill, surrounding the nerve endings beneath the bill's surface. The 100,000 electroreceptors and mechanoreceptors on the platypus's bill are arranged in attractive spikes, with alternating bands of electroreceptors and mechanoreceptors. This electroreception ability is common in fish, but so far it has only been found in 3 mammal species: the platypus, the echidna, and the Guyana dolphin. The platypus's bill has up to 70,000 electroreceptors, while long-beaked and short-beaked echidnas have 2,400 respectively. You can see evolution at work here. Since moving back to land, the electroreceptors of echidnas are gradually degenerating. Because such sensing ability is only useful in semi-aquatic environments. But this electroreception ability isn't necessarily a heritage from early fish ancestors. They evolved completely independently, and this is also an example of 2 different lineages facing similar evolutionary pressures. The electroreceptors of the platypus aren't the only unique feature rarely seen in mammals. If you have a chance to hold a platypus, you should wisely keep its hind legs pointing away from your body. Male platypuses have spurs on the back of their hind legs connected to venom glands in their abdomen. And although this venom isn't fatal to humans, it can have some quite unpleasant side effects like nausea, cold sweats, and swelling. Accompanied by immediate severe headaches that cannot be relieved by ordinary painkillers. Venomous mammals are relatively rare in the world. Only a few are known to us, such as the slow loris. It is also the only known venomous primate. They use venom to protect themselves from predators. Or the American short-tailed shrew also uses venom to paralyze small prey like insects. It is believed that with the development of teeth and claws, most mammals have developed much faster ways to kill prey than venom, which takes time to take effect. And thus, the utility of venom became evolutionarily redundant. Among venomous mammals, different venom delivery methods suggest they evolved independently. For example, the slow loris mentioned earlier. They look quite cute when raising their arms as if asking for a hug. But don't be fooled by appearances. This is actually how they deliver venom, produced from glands in their armpits that they lick. The venom mixes with saliva and accumulates on their fangs, ready to harm any bitten victim. The short-tailed shrew also has venom on its teeth, but the toxins are naturally present in their saliva. Both differ from the platypus, which delivers venom through spurs on its hind legs. Interestingly, recent research shows many proteins in platypus venom resemble those in reptiles. Even though reptiles diverged from mammals about 315 million years ago. Could this be an evolutionary remnant from the platypus's reptilian ancestors? Or an example of independent convergent evolution of venom? By decoding the genome, scientists discovered the platypus's venom delivery ability results from gene duplication similar to reptiles. A similar gene duplication process occurred independently in snakes, after reptiles and mammals branched apart. This suggests platypus venom is a rare example of convergent evolution. In this case, reptiles and platypuses developed similar venoms despite not sharing a common ancestor for hundreds of millions of years. Scientists still don't fully understand why platypuses have venom, but it's believed they use it during mating to protect territory and mates. Though strange, the platypus not only has a unique appearance but is also highly adapted to its environment. Some platypus traits may be ancient relics, while others are recent evolutions, similar to those in fish, birds, and reptiles. It's a bizarre and incredible combination that allows the platypus to occupy its own branch on the evolutionary tree. But many mysteries remain. Scientists continuously make new discoveries about this impressive animal. Just a few years ago, research accidentally discovered platypus skin glows under UV light, a phenomenon called biofluorescence. The reason remains unclear. And there may be many more secrets hidden in this adorable mammal that we'll uncover in the future. Australia's unique landscape and geography, combining climate zones from rainforests, harsh deserts to colorful lakes. Along with isolation, has created countless of the world's strangest and most iconic creatures. 80% of Australia's plants and animals are unique, not found anywhere else on Earth. What do you think about the unique platypus? Share your thoughts in the comments section.
Curious? Subscribe and step through the next anomaly.